you're in a position where you have to explain yourself, explain why you did something, explain why your work is better, explain why your idea is better, you're already in a weak position.
I think there's a story about Sir Christopher Ren in here.
Yeah, he had these columns in a church, and this other guy who thought he was a great architect, and Christopher Ren was the greatest architect of his time, said, I don't think there are enough columns here to support the roof. It's going to fall down. And Christopher Ren goes, God, what an idiot, obviously I know what I'm doing. But instead of arguing with him, what he did was he put in an extra column, just like the guy said, but he left a little space of like 6 inches at the top. So it actually wasn't supporting the roof. So the guy got the feeling that he won the argument, but in fact, Christopher Ren had won for the action because he never did really what the guy proposed for him to do.
There's a subreddit called r/malicious compliance. It is absolutely outstanding. So it's just people that have been asked to do certain things and they follow them to the absolute letter of what's been. It's completely not what the person asked for, but it's malicious compliance.
Napoleon had this idea: if I appear every day at the theater in Paris, people don't respect me. Oh, the king is the emperor's there. Okay. But if I only show up at the theater once a month, it becomes an event. People start talking about me and thinking about me. So the worst thing that can happen for you, even in social media, is that you become too familiar and people kind of think that you're just like anybody else and they get sick of you, which is very easy to happen, right? There's too much of you on social media every day and there's nothing special about it. So you can step back. You can't step back for a week or 2 weeks, but you can step back for a day or two. And the other thing is, it's how you present yourself. So if you're so familiar that everybody knows what you eat in the morning, how you dress yourself, if that camera's on you 24/7, there's no mystery around you at all. You're so familiar, you're so banal, there's no extra presence to you, there's no glamour. So learn to create some mystery around you. Mystery, where people don't really know what you're up to, is a form of saying less than necessary, where you make people think about you when you're not there. Just being aware that revealing everything about yourself isn't really a sustainable form of power, that sometimes not revealing who you are is actually the higher form of power. It's not easy in the era of social media, but people like Beyonce or Michael Jackson was a master of it. He would disappear for several months or even a year before a record was coming out, so people would be talking about him. And even Beyonce is really good at this. Make people dependent on you. So you don't want to appeal to people's love, to the fact that they like you. You want to appeal to the fact that they need you. Because if they love you, love is a very tenuous emotion. In fact, it doesn't work very well in the work situation. It causes all kinds of problems. They'll get rid of you tomorrow, even though they like you. But if they need you, it's like pulling out all of these roots of a plant to get rid of you. It's going to cause all kinds of damage all over the place. They need you and they can't get rid of you. So you need to make sure that your position in a company, in life in general, you're the only person who can do that. So it's almost inhuman to know when to stop. And sometimes success is the worst thing that can happen to you, because you don't, you suddenly lose a sense of what it is that actually happened that led to your success. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's something that you did, but you're not really aware of what you did. And you only think of your success and you get drunk on it and you go and you keep doing more and more and more and it ends up in a disaster. And so there's an expression that the Japanese have: at the moment you have success or victory, that's the time to step back, calm down, reassess where you are, and in fact, consolidate and not go ahead, because you're headed towards disaster.